Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos. Welcome everyone. We're here with our super talented friend, Mark Gabriel. He's over there.
Hi everybody. Thanks for coming to our intro launch video.
Thanks for connecting. We're gonna wait until some people are getting connected, tuned into this adventure that is gonna start today and it's gonna last for 3 weeks. We are so thankful to have a community like we have and to have artists like Mark that they donate their time, their creativity, their space, their brain, their heart for our kids, the children, the youth of Todos Santos, which right now are different, a little chaotic life. But we're there, we're hanging, and that's why we can keep going because of people like Mark.
Yeah. Well, the community inspires it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I think the first day I came here and early morning driving through the streets and seeing everybody out their front stoops, cleaning and getting prepping for the day as a town, already was a good sign.
Yeah.
The community. Yeah. Welcome, open arms.
Yeah. So we're, as Palapa, we're always thankful for our donors because that's the reason why we do what we do. I'm going to talk a little bit about Palapa right now. I don't know how many. Thank you to Ricardo that it's doing all the things behind the cameras, to Jesse, to Jamie, and are we having some people connected over there? Viewers, okay, thank you for tuning. But with Palapa, we have a few programs that we offer. We have the Beca program, which is a program that we offer to kids of any school. We help them to go to high school. We help them to go to college. We help them if they need to go to La Paz, to go to mainland. So we basically. It's not just like helping kids from our school. It's helping kids from all around town, from every school here in town, so that they can have like a better quality of education. And then we have the Puente Bridge to English program, which this program is towards school-aged youth, and we have 145 students enrolled. We do usually this program in October. This year the programs are a little slow. It's not been the same like this year and last year because of COVID. We all know that. But it's so important for kids here in Todos Santos to learn English because that opens so many doors. Mm-hmm. And then we have the Palapa Adult English program, which is also very important because we're giving the opportunity, started with the parents of the kids that were very interested, and we're giving them the opportunity. Our wonderful Kate, which here is a neighbor from Quetecolote, helped us with that program, and they have been doing it virtually. So it's going on still today. And that's a little bit about us. Yeah. And now we're gonna go with Mark, and we're gonna talk about him.
What? I was really enjoying that part.
Yes. So, tell us, Mark. We want to know about you. We want to know all your secrets. We want to know how these COVID times are going with your art. Uh-huh. What have you had to do with the gallery? You opened your gallery this year, which seems like a huge adventure.
Yes.
But you rock it. So tell us, how has something changed? How are you working with the circumstances?
I mean, it's funny, right? In a small town, small city like this, sometimes you feel like life is normal until you want to go do something, and it's like, oh, the restaurants are not at capacity, or you can't go to your favorite bar for a drink, and then all of a sudden, because I'm also, as an artist, for me anyway, I'm a bit of a hermit, and I'm good at spending time by myself. I close the studio doors, and I can be here for days, and that happens whether there's a pandemic or zombies or whatever raging outside. So sometimes it's a bit of a slap in the face, like a cold I don't know. I feel like I can forget sometimes when I get in my head making art, and then I come out and I'm like, why aren't we having dinner parties? And so it's almost like I need to I have a reminder frequently. Whereas other people, you know, like they're in the service industry and they're dealing with this like all the time. The good thing is I have an escape file, so that hasn't changed. But the thing that's definitely been weird is opening up a gallery, which is very much a social community endeavor, right in the middle of a pandemic. Not an ideal time to open any business like that.
Yeah.
But it's been actually really great. I mean, there's been a couple of times where the danger levels of our town, hospitals hit capacity and so everything shuts down. But the nature of what we've designed here with this space, having the 2 entrances and stuff, lets small groups through or couples through, so we can still operate in this time. So I feel like kind of blessed.
Yeah.
And we don't need a bunch of tourists in town to still make this viable. We have a really strong community of support. So even if the traffic dies down a little bit, choice of language, but the tourism slows down a little bit, we're still okay because it's an art-loving town.
Yeah.
So it's been a really good experience, and the support locally has been great.
So I don't know if you have been seeing. Well, if you haven't, please go inside the website. Talk a little bit about how the website is going, because they're doing this amazing 3D walk through the paintings, and tell us a little bit about that.
Of course. Well, that's kind of the fun experimental part, because I'm a new gallery owner anyway. I'm an artist this is my first gallery. Jesse and I, it sort of happened fairly organically, so the whole thing is an experiment. But I think one of my favorite parts is that and maybe this is one of the silver linings of a pandemic, is the online art thing. The community has really rallied. You take examples from other galleries. We follow other galleries, and we've joined a community of international galleries through a community called Artland, and basically that joins us with European and Asian and Latin American and North American galleries, and sort of brings the community and art collectors into a certain space. But what we had going for us, Jesse has been building these virtual rooms, which again is one of those things you experiment with. I mean, I don't know if everybody's into it, but basically it's a digital version of the physical space. You can walk into it, you can walk through it, you can see all the art, you can then kind of get right into it. And I mean, the thing that you usually lose online, as you know, with art, Instagram and Facebook, is context. How big is that? What are the colors, are they really like that? The texture. Yeah. So the cool thing about having a walkthrough is some of that context is put back in place. You can see size relation to furniture in a room, and you can move around. And then the other thing that's great is, as an artist, I also am really interested in sound, the kind of music that I play when I'm working or not playing. Yeah. And so the thing that we did for our opening show, which I thought was really fun and got some good response, was building a playlist, a Spotify playlist that you could throw out there, so when someone is in your virtual space, they can also listen to the music that inspired the show or thematically is somehow connected to the art. Okay. And I know definitely in 2 examples of pieces that I sold at that show were directly about that engagement. They were excited by the music and going back. Even though one of them was at the physical show, they could go back even when the show was kind of taken down and still see it archived there forever. And so now they kind of grew to love a piece and they listened to the music and they came back for it. So that's been great.
Like the whole experience, you know? You're like touching all the senses. Right. You're like integrating the visual, the sound. That's really. If you haven't gone into Mark's website, I highly recommend you go in and you experience this. Yeah. Well, tell us one song that inspired your 70s collection.
Well, it was one of the discoveries that I made. Okay. It's a song called Baby. Okay.
Sing it. No.
She's oh my god, now I can't remember her name on the spot. But she's from Brazil, and it's a one. Anyway, because one thing I was really interested in is not just music of the time period, which is important, but as a say, especially for the series, as a North American traveler in the 50s, 60s, going to exotic locations, not just. I mean, how are they hearing the music? If you go into a local restaurant, you're hearing, and maybe a local radio station, if some places have radio stations, but the other thing I was interested in, what kind of music would they actually be listening to? Because you watch period TV shows and stuff, and you go, oh, well, the producer said, that show, the time period matches this song, but in this certain venue, would that song have actually been playing? So I was kind of trying to dig into some of the music that would be just local, that you would have to be in that space at that time. So that was part of the playlist, I think. I found most exciting, and found some pieces that I quite love.
Okay, we have to go inside and listen to that playlist.
Yeah, I'll send you a thing.
Really, it's gonna transport us to the 50s and 60s. Well, actually with the school, we've been seeing a lot of interesting projects because they also have been doing a lot of, of course, everything gets distance learning, which has been like a huge change for the teachers, the parents, and the students. And we're talking about students that are from 13 to 18 years old, where it's very hard to be at your parents' house. And it's true. Yeah. And imagine the effort of the teachers trying to keep all this youth sitting down, telling them on a screen and not with personal, when you're in person you can totally see the movements, or you can see little things that you cannot see in the screen. So we are having it blows our minds how our teachers have been putting all their effort and doing all these amazing creative projects that we've been sharing. They've been doing a lot of because actually I'm seeing that it was Krista's show. It was the opening yesterday, and she did Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz, which it's over there, and the kids did this project in literature where they had to draw a poem of Sor Juana. So it's so interesting and so beautiful how they're becoming their own persons doing all this art, which is very important. And we can see now all the exhibition from yesterday, which that's Krista's. She's such a rock star. Her exhibition is called El que calla otorga, which is a Mexican saying that it's if you don't talk, you're letting it happen. So it's an homage to all these amazing women during history. And there's one beautiful lady that she painted that is from here, from Todos Santos, from Las Playitas. And we were here yesterday. It was nice to get with friends in a social, safe environment. Obviously, right now we cannot wear masks because if not, you wouldn't be able to understand us. But I have to say that. So we are.
Lips are important.
Exactly, lips are important. Exactly, right now. So going back to the school, it's been a total challenge for everyone and inclusive. Our kids, they're all 90% of the kids they have scholarships. That's how it works. Not just a few of them pay the whole tuition, but all of them pay from an amount of pesos to another amount. It depends on the needs of the family. And with this COVID, everything has changed, right? Because there has been a lot of this town lives a lot with tourism, restaurants, hotels, and obviously that slowed down a lot. So we've been supporting parents with the tuition forgiveness on 2020 until January. They started paying tuition right now, we are not able to do the Dos Santos Open Studio Tour, which usually we get like a nice amount of revenue, thank you, of revenue. So we're trying to figure it out. So this is one of the ways of figuring it out.
Yeah.
So if obviously please bid for the painting that we're gonna talk in a little bit about. But if you can make any donation, you can see all the numbers, website, everything, because we do need more donors, and it's just that weird year. All this money is going to scholarships. I think it's a moment in time where we do need to support the youth.
Mm-hmm. Education,
yeah. Exactly. So that's that for. So we're going. Sorry, I talked a lot. But it's about Palapa. So I have to explain about what is all this about. Yeah. So what are we gonna do, Mark? Tell us, what is this crazy idea and adventure that you're gonna take?
Yeah, well, I think that one of the things about having my studio space in a gallery that's directly on the street. I mean, I was never really a fan of people coming in and looking over my shoulder while I was working. I don't like people generally watching what I'm doing. But having the studio directly accessing the street meant that people are coming in, and I got more excited about that, talking about my art, than I thought I would. And there's been a lot of interest also online when I share stuff, and more interest, it seems, in the process, which is good, because more interested in the process than maybe even the finished art, which for me, philosophically, the thing about art for me is that it is all process. Once it's finished, you can call it what you want to call it. You can put it on a wall, you can put it in the garbage, you can burn it, you can do whatever you want with it. Call it art, don't call it art. But for me, the art is the doing of the thing. And I think I'm ready to sort of expose that journey that I go on a little bit. Like a friend just told me, don't give them all your secrets, but we gotta
give them all, Mark.
Yeah, I think the CIA said, the best lies are 80% truth, and 20% that little bit of information that changes everything. But I think I'm kind of excited to. I mean, I'm not the best, obviously, orator. I'm a storyteller, but I can probably show you better my process by actually showing you the process. So what we're doing is kind of inviting you guys locally, nationally in this country that's adopted me, Mexico, and also internationally through the beauty of YouTube and and the internet. We can all share, and I can show you what I'm doing, and hopefully you like it. Basically, the thing is, I don't usually know how long a piece is going to take.
Okay.
But we have a deadline of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fun. And along the way, I'm going to be making little videos of exactly what I'm doing. I may talk a little bit about it, I guess, along the way, but it'd be mostly visual, because it is a visual art, and maybe that's where the people who are interested in joining us on this adventure, on this journey, can start piecing together how I get inspired to do things, what visually inspires me.
What visually inspires you? Tell us a little bit about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's maybe not surprisingly, it's not art. I like looking at art, and I miss galleries, going to galleries and seeing other people's art. But what inspires me is people talking, listening to other people talk. I like watching the traffic go by. I really like. I'm a lateral thinker, so I like, if I'm moving around and something catches my eye, it'll stick in my brain like a color, a pink wall, how a pink wall is right against a blue wall, which normally would sort of maybe be freaky, and all of a sudden it's like, there's something there, and then the yellow beetle parks in front of it, and it's like, there's that kind of stuff. And that gets logged in as I move through a day. And that stuff generally will sit in the subconscious, and the idea is that if I can get out of the way of my subconscious, that's where all that stuff the magic happens. So that's also what's going to be interesting for me in showing you what the thing is. A lot of it is accidental. Hopefully it's accidental, because if I'm surprised by what I'm doing, then someone else will be surprised in what happened. That's how I sort of see it. If it's all premeditated, I know exactly what's going on. First, I'm going to be the first person bored about that. So it's going to be a big surprise, the whole thing. The journey will be a bit of a thing. And then, so we're going to be working, I'll be doing this for 3 weeks, and you guys will follow along and watch the videos and watch the piece progress from blank canvas to a finished thing. And then at the end, we're going to raise a bunch of money to help these kids.
Yes, please, let's raise a bunch of money to help the kids.
Yeah.
It's all about the kids, and it's like the perfect integration with community, art, culture, education, which all, like, if it doesn't go together hand by hand, the community doesn't grow. So please, if you like, we know it's difficult times, so if you're not able to bid, we appreciate any donation. It's a lot. Like, you cannot imagine how you think of that. It's nothing. No, it just changed lives. It changed, like, every kid's life, like, every day. So we're very fortunate to have this community, to have you. And so here, people that are just connecting, we're with Gabriel. We're interviewing him for the art adventure that we're gonna do here for Palapa, for the Palapa School, which we are about to finish our second story building, that's what you say. Nuestro segundo piso está a punto de terminarse, que es donde va a estar preparatoria. Estamos súper emocionados. We are very excited about this. It's like the vision that our founders have been having for a while, and now it's gonna become true. And now what we want is to have the kids in there, right?
Yeah, right.
And the kids want to also live this space, right? Because right now...
So people are at home learning,
yes.
Everyone is remote right
yes,
now?
Yes, everyone is remote.
Is that working okay as far as everyone has computers and everybody's got
actually,
internet access and all that?
Thank you for asking, because that was a challenge at the beginning. We gave iPads to the kids that didn't have computers. We helped them with their internet, because a lot of them didn't have internet, although a lot of them maybe they have, like, it's a family and 2 kids go to Palapa and they have only one computer.
Yeah.
So we helped them with that.
Right.
We also give them some some guidelines, the printed guidelines, so they can go and pick them up at the school.
Yeah.
But we're talking about high school, so I think the challenge, como el reto más importante,
the most
important challenge has been with the 7th graders, which is primero de secundaria, because they just got into high school.
Right.
They don't know the classmates.
Right.
They don't know the teachers. They, like, went into 7th grade and everything is a computer, and they just know everyone through the screen.
Yeah.
So it's been, I cannot imagine if that would have happened to me, like, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how you were in 7th grade, but me, I was a little chaotic and nervous and anxious, and so it's been a challenge. And we have this student support program that has been done by teacher Monica Rodriguez, which she's doing these episodes that we have in our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Jamie is gonna kill me because I haven't said that. So please, we have like 62 followers and we need 1,000. 1,000, yeah, or 100. No, I think 1,000. We need 1,000 so that it's like we can. I don't know exactly how it works, but we need 1,000 followers. So please just follow us in our YouTube channel. You can see it over there, here. We would really appreciate it. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you can help, you don't only help donating. You help us if you connect to our YouTube channel, if you see our newsletter, if you share our posts, if you share right now the live stream. Like, it's not all about money. It's about communication. It's about sharing. It's about, like, building this net where we can all connect and this net that we can all connect. Okay, but that we are all together like a spider web, and how we transfer information, communication, and then the donors come.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, I don't have money, it doesn't matter, just like click the share button, put like in the YouTube channel, and that changes a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Okay, Jamie says, Hola Polmena. Hi, thank you for
Hi, Jamie.
connecting. How are you?
Yes,
Jamie
there's some
is
shout
at
outs.
her house and she's like doing all the behind the scenes, seeing who's connected and just letting us know through the phone.
Mhm.
So we're gonna go to the blank canvas to
Are we?
see. Yes, do you wanna?
We do. We want.
Are you gonna start painting right now with us?
No.
I
I could.
I'm just teasing.
You do have some shout outs on your phone
Yeah.
that we might want to.
Okay. Shout outs.
Do you have?
Okay,
some
yes, I
shout
have
outs on
some
your phone?
shout outs over
Well, we
here.
move this.
So we thank you, Paul Mena, for connecting, and shout out for Celia. Celia Devault is always supporting us. The beautiful Celia and Janice. And not us as Palapa, us as like the community, the whole community. We're very thankful for them. Also shout out to Jessie Lee, Roslyn Kozak. So hello guys.
Hi guys. Hi Roz. Wow. Yeah.
Friend of yours?
Yeah. See, we're reaching the world.
Yes. Where is she?
She's in Regina, Saskatchewan. Hi everybody. Hi.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's the thing about technology.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, who
Who's
knows?
speaking?
Exactly. Maybe
Yeah.
this painting goes to New Zealand.
It can.
Yeah.
We ship worldwide.
You do?
Yeah.
Great. How do you ship your work?
I don't know.
Okay.
Someone else does that. No. The wonderful Jessie. We'll figure it out. It's we've had collectors from all over, which all part of the pandemic thing is
Yeah.
kind of really been good for. Is this community is larger. People from around the world have been reaching out more to each
Yeah.
other, and that also is true in art. And
Yeah, like Mark is doing all this fusion because if you can see, oh well, now that we move, we're gonna have like a little bit of a shot of his work. He has, I know he likes mariachis and church. He knows how to communicate this Mexican culture. Like as a Mexican, I see your work and I feel that I'm sitting with those mariachis. I know that I know them. Like I can feel that I know their names, no? Also in that painting, which that makes it magical. It makes it alive.
it's what I was hoping would happen. I moved down here looking for inspiration, and I think the important thing is to be open and not have those kind of preconceived ideas what you're going to find.
Yeah.
All I knew for sure was that I loved the ocean and I loved where it met the desert, and that's how it started. But the culture, it speaks to me loudly. The whales too. I mean, holy crow! I was not interested at all in painting whales, and we're so close to them here that the beaches are so deep, so fast that they come right in to brush the barnacles off them, and so they're like right there, these majestic beasts, and those things are the things that get lodged in the subconscious. That just so I don't know why they're flying, but they're
Because they are flying.
because they're
Like if you see, if you watch the ocean, it's exactly it's like a mirror from the universe.
right. Yeah.
They are flying.
See.
Like and the sky is a mirror from the ocean. Well, that's from my
Yeah, I love it.
just like my personal opinion.
And they're also our spirit.
Yeah.
Our spirit guides.
Exactly. So do you know what are you gonna start doing in that white canvas? Do you have like
I have an idea.
okay.
And that's the best I can usually do. Because the thing is, even if I have a really good idea, by the time I start throwing paint around, it's going to be changing. And that also, like I said, it's a surprise almost at every step until it starts coming to really comes together. I'm open for whatever inspiration knocks out. Because I think the best thing is to let, again, either the subconscious or whatever you want to call it, wherever those ideas come from, to knock those preconceived things out of your head. But yeah, we're gonna definitely do a whale because I think that's very indicative of where we are in this, and also the migration is still happening.
Yes.
Babies are coming, baby whales, and I think also El Rey, the King, the one that the first time, I started doing these whales small on driftwood pieces when I first came down, and then I started getting big, but they were always kind of in the center, and one of my artist friends kind of convinced me to sort of start expanding beyond the borders of the edge of the canvas, and I was like, why didn't I? Of course I thought of that, I should do that, and that was one of the first pieces where the whale got really big because I didn't have to show the whole thing. So I'm going to do something similar to that piece. Maybe it'll be maybe more La Reina. It'll be more because it's matriarch time.
And tell us a little bit, like when you were 13, 14, 15, like the kids that go to our school, like what inspired you? Was there like a teacher or a person or a movie or a song or whatever? Like did you paint it when you were that age?
Yeah, I was awful student in high school, but when I was in grade 10, I convinced the school to let me take grade 10 art and grade 11 art at the same time.
Right.
I don't know why they let me, but so I could have 2 courses of art in 1 year, and I don't know what else I would knocked out, but I knew that I was going to do art in some capacity, and it was in high school where I figured out that you actually could make a living at it, and so yeah, I was always making some kind of painting and some kind of music along the way, but in high school it kind of crystallized, and also probably being crappy at the rest of my course load helped me kind of determine that was absolutely now, because you don't know what you want to do until you know what you definitely can't do or don't want to do, and then it kind of points you in a different direction. So yeah, that I can tell you I was more interested in music in high school than I was in other artists. But like I was saying, the music that I was listening to inspired me to be an artist. And at that time, it's all about comic books. Mostly European comic books, or Japanese comic books, but less superheroes and more weird erotica and stuff.
Do you see colors when you listen to music?
Yeah, and images. Even if I don't know what the lyrics are, I start making. Yeah, it comes that way for sure. Music is hugely inspirational for the visual art.
So we're getting inside Mark's brain, and we're so fortunate and happy that he's letting us. So just a reminder, if you don't follow us in our YouTube channel, please like the YouTube channel and start following us. And shout out, hey Laurel, how are you? Thank you for connecting. We love you, Laurel, always. So you want to go into the white canvas to see? I think it's all about potential. The white canvas means potential, what is going to happen over there.
Okay, let's go look at it.
Okay. It's all about the white canvas, it's over here. So if you are here in town and you walk through this Militar street, you're gonna see all the changes.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of what is also kind of exciting for us is that, if you're around, if you're a local, it's right in the window on the studio side of the gallery for the next 3 weeks, and it'll be updated. I'm not going to lie and say every day, but every other day.
Okay.
It comes in fits and spurts, but it'll be becoming something over the course of the 3 weeks. That's how we do it. And if you're not here locally and can't look through the window, you're going to be tuning into the website, the landing page, which all those links will be there.
Yes.
Yes.
So the whole world can follow along. All whatever 8-9 billion of you
here
that are tuning in right now.
Exactly. So we were gonna have a camera just in front of the shot is gonna be exactly the white canvas, but just changing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see it virtually.
Yeah.
So do you start vertically or you paint horizontally? Thanks.
So for those of you who don't know, Jimena is also a fantastic artist. So it's really nice to be talking to somebody who also understands the process differently, probably. But there's things that we do that are the same. But the thing that I try to do, what actually I love most about a blank canvas is throwing paint on it and making it not white anymore.
Yeah.
And the whole process,
which is a little scary.
It's scary. But that's why for me, also the technique that I use is based on that
overcoming the fear. Because in the end, as you'll probably see, or around the end, it might be very close again to a white canvas. After all the layers of paint,
Yeah.
I bring it back to a fairly neutral plane that I can then put the image on. And I almost like a light neutral thing to paint on, but I love that there's a story happening underneath that image. And the story is me getting rid of a white canvas and then coming back to terms with it through the course of the layering.
We have to put that somewhere. The story is me getting rid of that white canvas. Jesse, you have to write that down. That's a good quote.
So yeah, and also if I was going to ever teach a workshop in it, in how to...
Are you going to teach it at Palapa?
I would.
Oh, thank you so much, Mark.
Let's do it next time. We're going to wait for the COVID. Because I want to, because we want to be in a small room together.
Yeah, exactly.
Breathing on each other.
Yeah.
No, the thing is that it's harder as a writer, if you sit down with a blank screen to start making a sentence that makes sense. But as an artist, as a visual artist, it's easy to just throw a piece of paint on there. It would be like, whatever you want to do, a rag or brushes or just with your fingers, start smearing some color on there, and it almost doesn't matter which one because you can paint over it. And that's how I always overcome the writer's artist block. Yeah.
I'm with you. I totally get that. Yeah. Yes.
So if I go into the studio, and usually I don't paint during the day, it's at night, but if I want to try and be productive during normal working hours, that's one of the things I can start doing. And because I know that it doesn't matter, and you can it'll get covered up or not. The other thing is, what I love about the process that what I've developed is that I love exposing. I mean, this would be the first time I'm really exposing it, but I always love keeping little remnants, shadows of those layers.
Okay.
So there's things, it never gets completely painted over, and you'll always see a little piece, even of a white canvas sometimes, in the final piece. There'll be at least a little piece that is an archived version of that part of the process. So if you look carefully at my work, finished, you'll see almost every step.
Every layer.
Yeah, if you want to look for it.
That's what that's what makes it look con tanta profundidad. Ricardo, help me. Depth.
Layers.
That's helps with the depth. Yeah, but me as an artist, I want to know your secrets. I'm really curious about what you do. I know that I've talked with some people who are like, how do you don't do that? So we're very fortunate that you all are gonna be able to see that he's sharing all that process with us. That's very strange. That's very rare. That doesn't happen a lot. And he's such a rock star, talented, amazing, beautiful person. And thank you so much again for doing this. And you wanna talk a little bit more about you? Tell us a little bit more about your creative process. What's your favorite step of your process?
Yeah, that's a good question, the step thing, because I want to say the beginning and the end, because all the middle stuff is can be tedious. I'm almost a professional procrastinator when it comes to the middle stuff.
Okay.
I have a lot of good things I can get to avoid getting, doing the thing. But as we've talked about before, a lot of what happens between the beginning and the end is staring at the work. And I think that's one of my favorite things, actually. It's just, I will also, along with everybody else, be staring at whatever stage I'm at, trying to figure out what comes next. Because there's never a roadmap, even if I've done a painting and I remember what I did that I liked before, it's always different every time. So for me, the thing is I like the surprises. I sometimes want to avoid the big surprises because you get into these moments where you don't want to touch it. You think it's already this is good, and I really like the way this layer hits that layer. But as I will know, as you all will know, that it'll be far from complete. There's no whales there. It's just a bunch of paint. But there's these little moments that I love, and I don't want to paint over them. So that's how I So keep some of them, and then a few steps later, it's like, oh, I don't know if I can keep that anymore. And there's this, is it Oscar Wilde? It comes from, I think, a writer who said you have to kill your darlings, about sentences that you want to hold on to that just don't work in the finished piece. And I think that's a huge thing that keeps me from painting faster a lot of times, is that I sit there and I stare at things, at what I'm doing. Either I love it and I don't want to destroy it, or it's not working for me and I have to figure out a way to get, paint myself out of that corner. So I have to say that the process is not my favorite part, but it is who I am. And it can be painful. It's a lot of heartache. And, because once you've painted over it, it's gone. And only I know until this moment, until we're going to expose this, that little piece of painting was really important somehow. And so what I guess the formal part of what I really like is when it all starts really coming together, which is close to the end. And I'm becoming surprised at what has happened, what I've done, what's channeled through me from whatever power and this, either the subconscious or whatever, all the things, because I can come out of after 2 or 3 days of intense painting, can suddenly see what I've been doing. Almost like you watch on, I love watching those videos of other artists doing something, and you watch for 5 minutes and you don't know what they're even drawing. I can do that to myself, but I'm not enjoying it because I'm in some kind of trance. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, that's not bad, this is good. And so that kind of surprise is what I'm talking about. I can appreciate myself for the first time after all that struggle or whatever it is, because it's not totally enjoyable, the process.
No, because it's scary. And it's,
So it's like drinking water, which should be always awesome, but I tend to choke on water.
Also, art is not all the time it's not all about just being beautiful.
No.
It's about emotions, and as human beings, we have so many emotions. It's not only like, oh, we're happy all the time. We're not. So art is the same. You've been painting for a month. If that month you were happy all the time when you're painting, you're like, wow, like I want to go to therapy with you. That's great.
Right.
But
and that is kind of what we're doing here, right? There's some therapy happening.
So thank you so much for the people that are donating right now while we're streaming. Please, if you donate, just put Mark Gabriel. And talking about emotions, that's what our teachers have been telling us. What's the biggest change from personal education to distance learning? It's all about the emotions. It's all about the emotions of the students and the parents and the teachers, and how do you connect to a student if you're not in person? How do you connect through a screen? So for us to be able to do that, we need really good teachers, and for us to have really good teachers, we need really good donors. So we are very thankful for everyone that's donated, and please, you can start bidding anytime. We know the painting is gonna be marvelous, amazing, mind-blowing, because we know Mark's work. So
I'm surprised there hasn't been a bid already, because I know at least one luminary in town, and an artist I hold in high regard, wanted to buy it the way it was.
Wow.
But I don't know what that means, because it's not going to stay like this, but anyway.
Well, that's a conceptual thing, you're buying the white canvas from Mark. Yes.
So I wonder how that process could work a little bit. Do you think if someone was like, I want it the way it is, we have to go to the end of it, obviously, we have to go to the end. But this happens a lot when I'm working here, and it'll happen, at that juncture where you're kind of like, oh, I'm sitting there looking at this thing that I know is 50% done, and I know it's not done, but it's confounding me, or something about it. You have to put it, and sometimes I'll put that on the wall. And so people come in and it looks like a finished painting and they want to buy it that way. And I'm like, do I tell them it's only half done? Or do I let them make the decision that it's done if you love it? But I guess we can't do it this way, that way.
Well,
unless I don't finish in 3 weeks, and then it'll be...
It depends on how much the bid is. So if you don't buy it like this, the bid has to be really high.
Yeah.
Okay, so usually we're I don't know, $15,000. That's what we make when we
Yeah.
do the Todos Santos Open Studio Tour. You can bid that if you want the white canvas.
Okay.
Because if not, we need to do all the process.
I will
no?
sign it though. I'll sign it.
Oh, of course.
Because otherwise, I need to write.
Yeah, because of what's the.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
Like a white canvas.
Because it's been hanging here. Because we were going to do this a couple of days earlier,
Yeah.
right? And then I've been putting it up here, and I think the chair helps, and the whole
Yeah.
the white wall and the white, and I think people are like, "Oh my god, I love that."
Very conceptual.
It's very conceptual.
That's very 2021. Well, no, that's like 2000 when it was like very conceptual art. Right now it has changed a little bit.
Yeah, and maybe I was gonna tell you. I think one of the things that got me really interested in painting again was when Radiohead's OK Computer came out. Do you remember that record?
Yeah.
Remember the album cover? It wasn't all white, but it was very white, and it was like white on white and like little things.
Yeah.
And it was a digital painting. And at the time, I was doing digital paintings only because I was working as a film production designer. So I just whenever I had moments, do little things. So I got really inspired when I saw this piece. I don't know, was it mid '90s? I don't know when it was exactly,
yeah.
but
Radiohead mid-90s.
yeah. And I also remember the philosophy of making that art was, even though it was digital and you can undo any step along the way, that the designer, the person who created that work, gave themselves their own rule of no undos. They had to paint over it. So if they didn't like something they just did, they had to paint over it or put something else on, a collage, another piece on, and then paint it. So, that excited me a lot, and that it reminded me of what I loved about painting.
Yeah.
And so from that day, I was like, I couldn't wait to get back into this. It still took me years to get back into a studio and have to do some real painting, but that was sort of started the thing. And that sort of, I think, I owe a lot to that image and that philosophy, that design conceit for what I'm doing there. But the white on white and that whole thing. Yeah. So if I could do this my whole life, I'd just do these.
Yeah.
No, I'd be so unhappy. We need some.
That when you play music.
Yeah.
So then you're.
Right. That's also, that's one little tidbit I will share right now for sure is one of my best, when I'm at my best as a procrastinator, it's what I can jump to the guitar.
Okay.
And do something like that. And then still feel like I'm doing something in a day and it's worth something, but it doesn't, I can get away from this. Yeah.
Yeah, well, talking about like digital art, that's one of the advantages now with this like distance learning is that all our kids are learning how to. There were kids that didn't know how to use a computer.
No, really.
Like they really were totally distanced from that world. Mm-hmm. So this is opening all these new worlds and ways of living and making money. So not everything is bad. I mean, all bad things have like a silver lining. No, so the silver lining in this is that kids are learning how to use technology right now that they're 14 years old. And if we can like just inspire the kids to use it to do like videos, no, like to edit, to do create, to do art, and then all these emotions can be for a better community world education. And we can only do this if you donate.
Yeah.
And this is a school, it's different from any school. We don't have any government support.
Right.
So we're not like a private school because the kids don't pay all the tuitions. We're not a government school because we don't have the support of the government. We live with the donors. So we really appreciate all of your donations, and we encourage you to donate, to bid on the painting, to be part of the Palapa family, to be part of the community, to help the kids of Todos Santos. If you see the stories of the Becca kids, the stories that we publish in our newsletters, in the social media, of the amazing kids that we have. They're so creative, smart. They have like all the las ganas.
The willpower.
their willpower to do things. They want to grow. They want to go to college. If we ask them, they want to be astronomers and they want to be mathematicians.
Wow.
So we as Palapa, what we want is to open all those doors and their minds, and they know that they can do all of that. They can achieve whatever they want, but they need help.
Mhm.
So as a community, with artists like Mark, with you as donors, we really appreciate your help, and if we can just make a whole bunch of money right now, that.
Where can people go to bid on the painting?
Okay, so you have to go to our website, that it's here, and you can bid over there. You are gonna see the link. You go to the Todos Santos Open Studio through website, and you can bid over there. We're gonna be sharing the links through social media, and you can just click the link and you bid over it at the website.
Mhm.
Yeah, and we're gonna be publishing how the bid is going.
Yeah.
Can I bid after the live stream is over?
Of course, you can bid for this 3 weeks. You can bid every day, anytime, until April 2nd, that we're gonna do the final, and we're gonna even maybe have some Mark music. And
Yes, we'll do that.
yes. And thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna finish up with a little video that we did in 2018. It's a bit old. We were gonna do one on 2020, but of course we all know about the circumstances, so we couldn't.
Mhm.
But thank you so much, Mark. Anything you wanna say bye to the viewers before we?
So I was going to add to that, the same page where you can do the bidding is going to be the same page you're going to see the updates of the work. So you'll see this change on the wall, almost like stop motion. And then also on the same page, we'll post some of the process videos that I'm going to probably film myself. Ricardo might come and help me out because I'm, whatever. I could be in a bit of a trance sometimes, and I need someone outside of me but we'll be posting those videos as well of the actual process stuff, and that'll all be on the same page where you can do the bidding. So I think that's important, that everyone can find that home.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be share our posts, see the bid, see the website, watch all Mark's magic. We're very fortunate that he's sharing that with us, and here is a video from 2018, so you have a better idea about Palapa. Thank you. Have a good weekend.
Thanks, Palapa.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Mark.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Established by volunteers in 2003 in Todos Santos, Mexico, the mission of the Palapa Society is to improve educational attainment, increase civic engagement, and empower youth and their families to reach their full potential. The Palapa School grew out of requests from parents, professionals, and community members who identified a need for an alternative to the existing overcrowded and ill-equipped public secondary schools.
Mi nombre es Juan Diego González. Soy el director de la Escuela de la Palapa, nivel secundaria, aquí en Todos Santos, Baja California Sur. En nuestra escuela hay varias cosas que las distinguen de otras escuelas. Por ejemplo, tenemos un sistema de becas en la que el 100% de los estudiantes reciben un tipo de beca. Tenemos un enfoque en las matemáticas, en las ciencias y también en habilidades de lenguaje. Tenemos el respeto como el corazón de nuestra comunidad educativa. Promovemos la igualdad y equidad de género.
Mi materia favorita son las matemáticas.
Lo que más me gusta son las matemáticas.
Matemáticas.
Ciencias y artes.
Matemáticas, física y ciencias.
The Palapa School opened in 2017 with grades 7 and 8 and 40 students. This fall, we added grade 9 and increased the total number of students to 60, while maintaining a 20-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio. The curriculum includes a focus on technology, science labs, project-based, and experiential learning from highly qualified educators, with emphasis on the academic and social skills that will prepare students for the challenges of the 21st century.
En la Escuela de la Palapa está certificada por la Secretaría de Educación Pública, lo cual significa que nosotros podemos ofrecer diplomas que son aceptados en todo México. Tenemos un programa de reciclaje y también de no usar plásticos en nuestra escuela. La Escuela de la Palapa hace servicio comunitario y cada semana limpia alrededor de la escuela toda la basura. Estoy muy entusiasmado de estar al frente de nuestra escuela porque vamos a ir creciendo y esperamos el próximo año abrir preparatoria.
We hope you consider our relevant and compelling Palapa School Growth Project, which will expand the successful Palapa School model to include a college prep, life skills, and leadership high school. We believe that it has the potential to positively impact the lives of hundreds of Todos Santos youth and their families.
Soy un apasionado de lo que hago y yo espero que más personas se comprometan con este proyecto y que hagan sus donaciones porque así van a ayudar no solo a un estudiante, sino toda una comunidad en Todos Santos.
A mí me gustaría estudiar ingeniería mecánica y especializarme en robótica.
Me gustaría estudiar diseño gráfico.
Especializarme en la robótica.
Doctora o criminóloga.
Yo lo que quisiera hacer es maestra.
Our long-term goal is to serve middle and high school students by providing an academic track to university in accordance with Mexican Secretary of Education standards and best practices. The future of Mexico is in our hands. We would love the opportunity to share more of our successes and dreams with you